Today we're going to look at finding the gradient. Gradient is a measure of how steep a line is. The gradient has the formula m equals height divided by horizontal. Nobody really knows why we use m for the gradient. Obviously it would be better if we started with g, but we just have to accept that it's m that we use for the gradient. The gradient can be a positive number. Now we get positive answers when we are starting from the left hand side and it's sloping upwards. Okay, so starting from the left hand side, it's sloping upward. We have a negative gradient when we start from the left hand side and we are going downwards. Okay, so a negative gradient is when we start from the left and it's sloping downwards, and that gives us a negative gradient. When we calculate the gradient, if we have a line that is completely flat, we say that it has no gradient. It has zero gradient. Okay, there's no steepness to that line at all. And one last one, which we won't be looking at initially, is that when we have a line that goes straight up and down, we say that that line has an undefined gradient. Okay, now we will come back to that, especially if you're going on to study National 5 maths. Okay, so where do we use gradient in real life? Okay, so one place where you might have seen gradients is when you're out and about on the road. Okay, so here we have a warning sign warning us of a 12% gradient of a steep hill there. And I'll add another one. And now we have another picture here where we have a gradient of 12%. So in both cases, we've got cyclists showing off that they've just gone up a steep hill. Okay, so the next few examples, I'm going to show you what this looks like in maths class. Okay, so here we have a triangle. It has a height of 6 centimetres. And it has a horizontal length there of 3 centimetres. So we say that our gradient, remember that this line here means divide. So can I do 6 divided by 3? I can. 6 divided by 3 makes 2. So the gradient for that slope there is 2. Okay, question number 2. This time we have a height of 18 and a horizontal distance of 4. Okay, now again, if you have a think, this line here means divide. Can you do 18 divided by 4? Now, no calculators allowed for this, okay? So 18 is not in the 4 times table, so I'm going to give that division a miss. Can I simplify it down? What goes into 18 that also goes into 4? I think the biggest number is 2. Okay. 2 times 9 for the top, 2 times 2 for the bottom. Divide the top by 2, divide the bottom by 2. Okay, and what I've got left on the top is 1 times 9, and on the bottom we've got 1 times 2. Okay, now we leave our gradients as top-heavy fractions. Okay, so please leave it like that. Okay, and on to number 3. Okay, so we have a height of 8 and a horizontal distance of 10. Okay, so again, thinking about this line being a divide sign, 8 divided by 10, no, 8's not in the 10 times table because the 10 times table goes 10, 20, 30. Okay, so I need to have a rethink. Okay, Can we simplify it? Is there something that goes into 8 that also goes into 10? Just 2 again. 2 times 4 and 2 times 5. Okay, so divide the top by 2, divide the bottom by 2. And then 1 times 4 makes 4, and 1 times 5 makes 5 there. Okay, so we have got 3 different types of answer here. We have got a 2 for the first one, which is a whole number. For the second one, we got 9 over 2. That's a top-heavy fraction. Okay, this last one here, just a fraction. The number on the top is smaller than the one on the bottom. Okay.